Trees, and that's a homegrown band. You're listening to them right now and watching the weather as well. We've got a snowstorm and the neon trees.
Everybody talks.
Everybody
Where
talks.
we work, everybody talks.
Especially about the snow lately. Right now, though, we are talking about becoming a better you know, for the new year. And if that was one of your goals or your New Year's resolutions, how are you doing?
That's a personal question, but joining us this morning, Jason Goldberg right here. Believe it or not, this guy is a former rapper.
Yes.
TED speaker as well. Has done 8 TED Talk or
one
TED Talk.
enough.
One and done. I think.
One and done,
well, that's
yeah.
how it is for most of them. Yeah. And now he's training to be a self-leader. Training. I think you've trained. You've already trained.
I've tried.
And how to not be a prisoner.
Correct.
As well.
Correct.
So you wrote a book called Prison Break.
I did.
It's not related to the show, I think.
It's not, but it's so funny because my book came out at the exact same time that the show resurfaced, which you would think is good for the book, but now when everybody Googles Prison Break, they get the TV show, and like, oh, that's cool, you wrote a book about the show. No, I didn't write a book about the show. Why would I do that? So it's been great timing. Can I say one thing real quick, though?
Sure. Well, it depends, but go ahead and we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
you guys have a delay, right?
Yeah.
So I heard earlier you guys were talking about that it's National Spouses Day, and in case my wife is watching, I just want to let you guys know every day is National Spouses Day, isn't it?
Either you're a really good husband or she's a really good wife. Yeah, it depends.
She's a really good wife.
Now, I was looking at this, and I got to page 11.
Yeah.
The day the universe cut me off.
Yeah.
And I think that sounds like a beginning right there.
Yeah.
What
happened?
It was huge. I mean, I was huge, right? So at that time in my life, I was 29 years old. I was 332 pounds, very anxious, very depressed, even suicidal, had suicidal thoughts a lot. And it was weird because outwardly, everything looked okay. Like I was making 6 figures in my 20s and I was in technology. You would think I had everything going for me. And that happens a lot. People think that if they have external things going for them, they have no reason to be upset. And maybe that's the truth on the surface, but we're humans, and the human experience and human emotions get to you sometimes. So at this point in my life, 332 pounds, kind of at my height of my success professionally and at the depths of my own feelings about my life personally. And I had this day where I tried to go make a purchase on Amazon for socks. I'm a sock person. And I'm wearing some Dia de los Muertos socks. I love socks. That's all we have as guys is socks. I mean, you're a snazzy guy. You get this. So I went to go buy some socks. My card got declined. And so I call the bank, and the bank says, and this whole story is in there, so I'm going through it quickly. You'll get to read the whole thing in the book. But essentially, the bank told me that my card had been declined for some potentially fraudulent activity. And I asked, what's this fraudulent activity? Although I was extremely angry and yelling because at that time in my life I just had so much anger. I wasn't like, oh, tell me about these charges. I'm like, tell me about the charges. Why are you ruining my life? I'm such a prisoner. And they said, we cut your card off because there were 4 fast food transactions in one day. And we assumed somebody had stolen your card and they were testing it. But it was me. I had eaten at all those restaurants. And it took $1 billion bank to say, you're done.
So you made your own wake-up call.
I did, right, yeah. So I say the universe cut me off, but really, we have universal wake-up calls that things need to change in our life all the time. The question is, how do we respond? Or do we respond at all? And when we respond, do we respond from a place of despair and anxiety and stress and like, oh my God, I have to change my life, and oh, I have to become a new me? Or can it be something fun? Can it be a reinvention of yourself just because you get to, not because you have to?
Yeah, but still, once you reach that point, it's it's a huge thing to turn your life around that much in that type of proportion.
Yeah, it really is. And it's funny you say proportion. So, and you know what? And that's one of the big things about being a self-leader. So the book is all about that at any given moment you have a choice to either be a prisoner of circumstance, which we do kind of by default. We've been conditioned by society to think like when things are going well in your life, you're happy. When things are not going well in your life, you're unhappy. You can be a prisoner of circumstance, or you can choose to be a self-leader. And a self-leader is a moment-by-moment decision to live in a place of possibilities, to say, yeah, sure, this stuff's all going on. It's not about positive thinking and rainbows and butterflies and mantras and visualization.
I'm glad you're saying
that.
that.
No, God, oh, no, that's because that's denying reality.
Yeah.
Right? I want us to look at reality and then say, great, now what? Given these conditions of the game, what would I love to create? What would be amazing for me to create in the world with my God-given creativity?
Okay,
well,
so we've got
what does that look like, though? I mean, what do you,
this is
what you say to yourself, or how do you do this?
Right, yeah, so this is my 3-part, the ARC process, right? And I'm not big on processes because I don't want you to have a 5-step process to remember this. I want to just become a part of who you are.
Yeah, because if I feel like I'm not smart enough, that's just going to make me feel worse.
Exactly. Well, no, it's funny, and it's funny you say that because people then become a prisoner of their prisonerness.
Right.
It's like Inception. It's like it gets deeper and deeper, and it's like be gentle on yourself. And so this is all about the first step alone, awareness, just slowing down and saying, in this moment, if I'm feeling like a prisoner, that's okay. I don't need to beat myself up. I don't need to force myself to overcome it. I simply say, hey, in this moment, the thoughts that are in my head, they're not serving me. They're not having me feel the way I want to feel. They're not productive. right? So this is not about good or bad, right or wrong. It's about productive versus unproductive, helpful or not helpful. So slow down and have the awareness of the thoughts in my head right now, helpful or not helpful. Then you have responsibility, and that word broken down is really responsibility, your ability to
With
respond.
an A, ability.
Yeah, right, an ability to respond, and that's something that we don't necessarily think we have because we think that circumstances dictate our lives. So to slow down and say, I have the ability to respond in this moment is huge. And once you've slowed down and you have that awareness and you realize that you don't have to have this conditioned reaction, that you can actually respond from a creative place, then you just choose what's the next small step that I can take to take me towards what it is I want to create in the world, personally, professionally, whatever it is.
What was yours? What was your first small step? And how did you keep it going after that?
So it's great. It's a great question. So people ask me all the time, how did you lose 130 pounds? And I didn't. I lost 1 pound 130 times. And that is the essence of self-leadership. It's not about you do this and then you're a self-leader for life. It's not some permanent personality thing that you develop and then you're done. It is a moment-by-moment practice. So for me, my biggest transformation is not losing 130 pounds and not being an entrepreneur. It's the day-by-day times where I have some heaviness that seeps in and I want to be sad or I want to be stressed. And instead I say, what would I do right now if I could bring 5% more creativity, 5% more self-leadership to this challenge in front of me? What would that look like? Who would I show up as? And then the step just kind of presents itself.
You know, I'll tell you what, we could listen to this for all day.
I know, I'm ready to sign up. Do you
we're
have a
out of time.
seminar?
Well, he's got a book. He's got a book. All this stuff is in the book, right?
It is in the book, and I made a special link just for Good Day Utah viewers.
cool of you.
So if you go to thejasongoldberg.com/GDU, you can actually get a free copy of the book.
Wow.
Absolutely free.
That's cool of
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
You are a giver.
Thank you. You guys
Yeah.
are too. You guys are incredible.
Has
Well-
it been life-changing? I mean, do you feel like...
Yes.
Okay.
Every day is life-changing because I show up with the enthusiasm and the creativity to change my life every
Well,
day.
he has that from the moment he walked in the door. You know, he's been interacting with everybody here. We can tell you're a big optimist.
Thank you.
So,
I appreciate that.
Jason, thanks a lot.
I can't wait to
pleasure.
read the
Good
book.
luck to you.
I hope you love it.
Okay.
Thanks,
We
guys.
want to be just like you.
I want to be like you guys,
Now
except for
we
the
can-
4:30.
Now we
you guys
can
keep
too,
that.
with this
Yeah,
important
minus
book.
that.
Yes.
Yeah. Thanks, buddy.
Thank
Good
you.
luck with it.
Great interview, guys. Really nice meeting you, Jason. That's some health information for you.